Hey everybody, how's it going? We are playing some Zed.Run today and checking out some of the new borrowing and lending features that hopefully will provide a nice use case for the Zed token in the future. I'm not exactly sure what all they have in store or planned for the actual token itself, but it has been airdrop to all stable holders. And if you're like me, where you have multiple stables, you might want to go and check the old ones um, because you probably received some Zed if you held horses there. And I just went and compiled all my Zed together. And yeah, we're gonna race some horses. We're looking at today's tournament. Today's tournament is the progressive. I got a couple horses in it. And yeah, we're just going to take a look at the horse that I have borrowed and how to do it, and also how to lend your horses. So right now, this is my wallet with 510 Z, and then I can also go to my stable. And you see Eleanor here I borrowed today. I'm not sure if there's a cap on how many horses you can borrow at a time. You cannot breed with them or put them in the stud farm, but you can do essentially everything else as far as paid racing, or you can also do the free racing to qualify for the tournaments. So that's like my main goal coming into borrowing horses that are potentially going to outperform mine, is to try and qualify them for the daily tournaments. A great way you can use this is if you don't have a horse that's for a conditional tournament, like say example, they have a 268 Z268 tournament. There might be a Z268 horse available for you to borrow, or if it's legendary, like I believe Eleanor, the horse I borrowed, is, let's see, she's legendary. So yeah, so now I have a horse I can race on legendary conditional tournaments. Whereas before I only had elite and let's see, elite and exclusive. Okay. So anyways, I borrowed Eleanor today, and it's free. That's another really interesting thing about it. But what you do is you split 50-50 profits from anything that we win. But my guess here is that a lot of the people that are loaning right now are either just kind of testing it out, or they need somebody to jockey for them, which has been very popular in other horse racing games where you get rewarded just from racing your horse alone. That's kind of what Zed did with the airdrop. But if you're new to the game, the only real way to make money in this game is to either, run paid races and win, or place top three, or they've recently added the top six, or you can get qualified for the daily tournaments and actually win some serious money, compared to the $2.50 paid races. But anyways, I'll show you how to do this with the permits, lending permits. So you go to manage lending permits. You can acquire. You see, I've got 510 Z. They're 250 each. I can acquire one right here, and this approval will only be used. Okay, infinite approval, whatever. You proceed. And I'm just gonna decline this because I don't need another lending permit. I don't even really plan on lending right now. But here's the cool thing, and I'm wondering if maybe they're gonna add some type of staking rewards here, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're locking up 250 Z to get one lending permit. So in my mind, with tokenomics, this is a great way that they could use this for staking. So I went ahead and got a lending permit just in case. Because I had a surplus of Zed. I also minted one of the Zed Head Human Park skins. I'll look into that game in the future. But right now we're just covering Zed.Run. But to my understanding, the Human Park NFT game is actually made from the same creators of Zed.Run. So I'm a big fan of Zed.Run. All right, so if you're new to the game and you don't want to buy a racehorse, which granted, I'm not gonna lie, racehorses are cheap right now. They're very cheap. But if you just want to check it out, you don't have to buy a cheap racehorse anymore. You can do this right here. So when you're deciding on what racehorse to borrow, there's a couple of things to consider. Mainly, like I said, the first thing would be, okay, am I using this for a conditional tournament? If I am, here's your exclusives, here's your legendary, here's your pacer. I know there's conditional pacer tournaments, and a cross even. The furthest these currently go is Z51. But we do have a legendary. And this legendary is still in the Discovery. Win rate of 14%. That's the next thing I would consider, as well as races ran. So it's really in its discovery phase. It ran its first race because you can make upwards to $30 if you win your first race. So that's fine. But now they're gonna let somebody else kind of race this horse for them and see how it does, and put it in a class for them. So I avoid these because right now, at least, because I don't see, for me, this is just doing work for them. I think you can do paid races in Discovery. I'm not sure. I have to double check. I might change my mind on this, but for right now, this is not what I'm looking at. Win rate of 11%, 174 races, class 4. This would be a solid one to borrow. 4%, no. I don't want a 4% win rate horse. 15%, 28 races, level 3, also not bad at all. 5%, level 5, or class 5, sorry. 40 races, no. So you've got a Z40 cross with a 15% win rate, but very low sample size, but it's class 3. Our other class 3 has an 11% win rate with a much larger sample size and is in class 4. So we're going to go ahead and borrow this racehorse. The lending period is 4 days, so that means you'll be able to hold them for 4 days and race with them. The prize share is 50-50, meaning that you get to keep half and the owner gets to keep half. So with paid racing, that is the downside, if you will, to this lending. Or borrowing, rather. So you sign on your MetaMask. Okay, so you can only borrow one at a time. Makes sense for 4 days. Now let's see. Can I let go of Eleanor early? No, I cannot. I do not believe. Okay, so you are stuck with that horse for 4 days. And so I went with a class 1 that's over 1,700 just because I just wanted to mess around. My horses have been classing down recently. I have no problem with that because it's much better for paid racing or qualifying for tournaments in that matter. But yeah, I just went with old Eleanor because I want to see. And Eleanor has been doing all right. She's definitely not been doing bad. I've been running her in 1,600 as a mid runner. But she's been more of a 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th type place racer. I don't think she's caught flames yet. Whereas my horse has been catching fire all day or flames all day, but yet just not, performing that great. Anyways, flames, as I've mentioned before, isn't always a guarantee that they're going to place top 3 by any means. As you can see, 4th place is pretty common, but look, you've got the place finish, and this is a racehorse that looks slightly stronger against the rest of the field. So, unfortunately, in the tournaments, you can't gauge where Eleanor's at because she's not one of my racehorses. And that's a feature that I would like to see by Zed.Run. I don't even know. I can't even search her, until she's qualified at the very least. So let's see. I think she's got 3 of 5, but she's not. I mean, I can't see the statistics or the average, but she's not doing well. I think she's got, let's see. I think this is her best race at 4th, which if I had ran her in a top 6 paid, that would have been money. It would have probably been a small amount because it probably would have been about $3, and I probably would have made all 50 cents, and the owner would have got 25. 7th, I would have lost money, and 6th, I would have, once again made about 50 cents. So my biggest, I should say rather, the thing I like the most about this is that the conditional racing is now easier to owners that don't have a million horses of a million different types, or large stables, if you will. Now you have the option of, being able to race in a legendary conditional tournament, or, try and qualify. You also have the option of, pacer, etc. The main reason why I like it is for free racing, for free tournaments. It extends your stable. It gives you more chances for qualifying into that tournament. And I have no problem with splitting my money 50-50 from a free tournament that I qualified with somebody else's horse. I had no problem at all. And I would love for somebody to borrow one of my horses, especially in the future, when I have more, and do the same. I don't think people are going to – I know people have listed very good horses with great win rates already, but they're probably getting scooped up really quick. But this is another reason why I like it, is it's a great way for you to test the game without having to buy a racehorse. Even though right now you can commit to, all of $10-15 and buy a racehorse. But I still think this is a better option. It just gives more use to the entire site and the entire game. So really what I'm gonna do, other than see if I can register Eleanor for, maybe we'll go for a paid race just for the stream. So yeah, one of the first things you want to do, obviously, and if you know much about Zed.Run, is you want to check the horse you borrowed's statistics, and statistically, Eleanor wins the most in the 1600 meter races. She doesn't do bad in the actually she does best in the 1400. I may have been misracing her today. She actually is an edge sprinter, I guess you could say. Huh. Interesting. And who knows if you'll see this, but shout out to Bloodstock Cartel for letting me borrow Ella. She's a beautiful horse. Nakamoto. I wish I could breed her with all day, every day. That'd be great. But there is no breeding with borrowed horses, which is totally understandable. Makes a lot of sense, to be honest. So I'm actually going to look for a 1400. Eleanor's probably not tired. And if I can get her in a free race, that'd be great. There's none right now in Class 1. But that gives her an option to qualify as a sprinter, and as you can see, we've still got 5 hours left. Sorry, just 1 second. All right, so we fixed the title. So yeah, Zed.Run did a nice update, and now we've got borrowing going on, and it kind of blows my mind that it's free. So right now we're looking for a free 1400. Awesome, we found one. Got a couple grand, big place rate, big win rate. It's a good horse. But we're gonna register Eleanor here because we got a chance at making it on the sprinter side of this. Eleanor is a great place rate and a good win rate, but she's just she hasn't really raced and paid too much, which is fine. And like I said earlier, when I was looking at the horses that are on loan right now, hang on, just checking her. Where is her? 97%. Okay, they say it doesn't affect you until you're below 90%. I don't really like to race super low, but with Eleanor, borrowed horse, I feel like the owner that lent this horse would be, upset if I just set this horse in my stable and did nothing with it. So that's another way of looking at this. There's other horse games that have come and frankly gone, or he's lost a lot of hype, whereas Zed.Run is continuing to gather hype. And they did a lot of this jockeying because you got paid just to race horses, and I think Zed did that in a different way, or Zed.Run, they did that in a different way. I think the way they did that is they paid you in Zed tokens for owning horses and for the amount that you raced your horse, the amount that you put it in paid racing, etc. So the owners got airdrop Zed tokens, and I'm really excited about the future of the Zed token. I don't know 100% what the tokenomics are supposed to be like. This is going to be a really good horse. Z1 neck. Genesis, 50% place rate. This horse is disgusting. you really see some good horses in Class 1, obviously. Even this is I'm just looking at the horses with the flames, but the biggest thing is you look at, how many wins they have. Which even this Liberty horse, which is by far the best horse, I'd say, in here, isn't like devastatingly better than Eleanor. Good bit though. Good bit. 15%. Actually, yeah. I mean, Eleanor's not too far behind. I'm going to switch over to do. I'm sharing. One second. Okay, so we're just going to go over this again. I don't have a whole lot of wealth in my wallet. Don't make fun of me. I'm just playing. You can donate if you want. You don't have to donate. So, new updates to Zed.Run. They have this tracker update that's really nice. I really like it. It's clean, very clean. They're making this game and the interface a lot cleaner, and I really like it. The conditional tournaments I haven't been a huge fan of, but they're kind of solving some of that problem with the new borrowing, which is what I was mentioning earlier. So going back to this, because I wanted to try to see if I could borrow another horse, but it makes total sense that they put the cap on 1 per 4 days. It's free. I think people have actually borrowed some of the horses I was looking at earlier since I've been talking. Morgan Jones, this horse right here is the horse that I would borrow. The reason why, win rate 11%. It's got a decent amount of races. It's in Class 4. So, it's a Z13 exclusive, Sabo. So that means you can race it in conditional exclusives. And just Class 4 is typically not going to be the most difficult horses. I mean, it really depends, though, because there's Class 5 horses that have, 200, 500 wins. They're all over the place. A lot of people are really big on downclassing, and I honestly just started to figure it out. It makes sense. I don't try and throw races by any means, but like I definitely put them to the test. I put my horses to the test fairly. That way, they should be, in the correct class where they should be to where they can win. I've noticed that once All Day Every Day drops down to Class 2 instead of Class 1, he gets flames on almost every race, and he does much better. So I really feel like, he just does well in Class 2. So my recommendation is look for a horse with a good win percentage, with a decent amount of sample size for that win percentage. 100 races plus is ideal. And then, consider the class. Like I said, I borrowed a Class 1. It may have not been the idea or best idea. It was like a Z1, Z2 legendary. I'll double check to see if it was Z1 or Z2, but it's definitely a legendary. Maybe something like this would be a better. I'm sorry. This one I don't like because the win rate's 4%. I mean, it's too low. But this one, like all my horses, if I was gonna put a horse out to lend for somebody to borrow, hopefully, I wanted to have at least a 10% win rate. So anybody that's considering lending horses, maybe you want to take that into consideration. Because I really feel like these are only going to get picked up for conditional purposes. And for those of you that don't know what that means, that's the tournaments that they host daily, the free tournaments. Some of them are conditional, meaning that it has to be an exclusive horse, or it has to be a legendary horse, or oh, I'm missing the race. I'm sorry. All right. Here's our borrowed horse, Eleanor. This is her preferred distance. I actually made a mistake and was racing her at 1,600 meters as a mid runner. So we're going to try her out as like basically an edge sprinter. And she's taking off right here at 500 meters left. This looks good. She might be taking off a little early, but hey, we like to see our horses out here performing. Neck and neck with like half the pack here. I'm pretty sure some of these have flames too. But I mean, a great effort, no question, by Eleanor. See what she pulls out of this. Oh, the left side pulled ahead. Oh my gosh, she was about to take third or better. So she ended up in sixth place. And for streaming's sake, we're gonna run one more. Mango Ice is a really good stable. I hate racing against their horses. 6K and winnings, 15% win rate, 30% place rate. It's a good horse. 245 wins. They race their horses. They're in it. They're in here making money. They're not playing games. Let's see how. She's at 97%. Yeah, we're gonna keep running her. See if we can get a little bit better of a reaction in the free. And that way I can judge it a little bit better too if I want to enter her in a paid race. Oh, she's a Z2. Yeah, legendary Z2 neck. Which, once again, I would be very happy if I could breed as well, but I totally understand why they didn't add breeding. That would be pretty ridiculous. I really didn't check Eleanor's flame rate, but I'm not huge on the flame rate. It definitely isn't a big predictor of the outcome of these races, but we've got a 1900, almost 2K Z1, a well-raced Z4, and of course this random one. Let's see, Mango Ice's horse didn't even get Le Fire. It's also fun just to see what a Class 1 Legendary Z2 can do against the top of the field. I mean, these are the best of the best racehorses in the game. So if you get the chance to borrow a Legendary Genesis, or Legendary or Genesis. Z1 or Z2. I don't think it's a bad idea at all. But just from today, thinking beyond qualifying for tournaments, and even with qualifying for free tournaments, potentially the lower class horses with still good win rates may be the way to go. As you can see, Eleanor's fallen to the back of the pack. But if she's anything like All Day, Every Day, this is where she comes back and wins the race at about 300 meters. Wow. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Oh, my goodness. Eleanor, she's got the stride. She's got the stride. What was it? Did she take these left ones? No, she didn't. I think she took like fifth. Yeah, she took fifth. Hey, I'm not mad at that. I think she could do well in top 6 racing, paid racing. All right, everybody. I'm going to sign off. If you like these videos, leave a like. If you see me in the races, say hello. And leave a comment if you have any questions. I'm sure I can help you guys figure them out. So yeah, these horses are constantly changing. You got a horse right here that win rate is 10% with over 1,000 races. It's a Z6 class 1. I mean, this is not a bad horse at all. In fact, this is a great horse. So, they're constantly changing. The main thing that I, wanted to talk about as far as theory or, the meta behind this borrowing system. Because for lending, really, the purpose, to my understanding, because for me, I don't have enough horses or horses that have performed well enough in paid racing to really be lending. But lending to me is basically saying, hey, I don't have enough time, or hey, I want to be one of the first ones to lend some horses. If you'd like to race it for me, and also they don't have to risk their money. They can let somebody else risk their money, and they still get half of the money, the earnings. But to keep everything as free as possible, not only is it free to borrow the horse, but there's daily free tournaments. And you could literally look and say, oh, what's today? And today it's not a conditional. But if it is a conditional, what's today? Oh, only elite horses can run? Let me grab an elite horse, And the only problem with that is that you're with it for 4 days. So these are things to keep in mind. I really think looking at the win rate with the biggest sample size possible is big. I'd like to see where this goes. If a lot of people start racing borrowed horses in the paid racing, and especially for the larger prize pools. I've got all of $13 on this account right now, but you've got class 1 races that are like $500 to enter, I think, something like that. $100, so say, oh no, there is, there's much more than that. Yeah, $100. Okay, so this is gonna pay out $350 to first place. So that means you put $100 in to win 125. No, I'm sorry, 175. Which isn't amazing stats or risk to reward, but you're racing with the best. This horse right here is literally in this week's, I think, top win rate horses. It's got $36,000 in wins. It's an absolute monster. Who owns this horse? We're all gonna make it, of course. Yeah, Wagner Racing. Their stables are insane. This stable right here too, high on heroin, is insane as well. You see a horse over 2,000. I mean, good God, 2,400. Ugh. All right, then we'll end it there. But hey, my horse is Eleanor's a 1,400 meter horse racer. That's her preferred running. Chuck a quick $100 at it, $1,200 prize pool. I mean, you get to the point where splitting this money isn't that big of a deal because the prize is so big. That's $350 for a W. So I think there will be some people with some extra cash, things like that, that maybe will experiment with this. Oh yeah, never mind. Here's a $500 entry, and first place is a quick 1,400. So that'd be like $700. But that wrist horse is not great. I don't know. For now, I think it's very interesting. I think it's great on Zed.Run. I think it's a great improvement or update rather to the game. We'll see where it goes. The biggest use case I see for it right now is the conditional racing and free tournament qualifying. And as for the Zed token, I think that locking the Zed token up to get lending permits is huge. I think that's something that they could work into their tokenomics very easily. So hopefully that's something that's coming along the line. All right, everybody, have a good one. Hope you learned something. I hope you had a good time. It's your boy B Mart, aka Brandon Breeds.